Why did you choose merchant navy as a career?
Well, if I can be as honest, I never chose it. Of course, I still don't think that there is any better job than working on a ship. If there was some form of teleportation and somebody told me that 8 o'clock in the morning, stand on the circle and you'll be teleported to a ship, and evening you can come back to your family, I'll still choose to do that.
Hi everyone, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel Merchant Navy Decoded. मेरे साथ है मनीष प्रधान सर, जो कि एंग्लो ईस्टर्न शिप मैनेजमेंट प्राइवेट इंडिया प्राइवेट लिमिटेड के मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं. सर पहले तो वेलकम, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर फॉर गिविंग मी योर इमेंस टाइम.
Thank you so much for being here, and we go back a long way. It's always good to see you.
Sir, before even I introduce, I have to give my special these fanboy moments 5 minutes out here, and I have to tell them ki why it is so special. This interview is so special for me. So this story sir goes back to the year 2012. मतलब I knew you, I had heard your name when I was in college, BTech Marine Engineering. कि अरे there is this, हमारे कॉलेज के सीनियर मनीष प्रधान सर comes and takes interview and gets the candidates of BTech Marine Engineering MERI Kolkata students every time. And the other thing was whenever he plays cricket, वो बहुत लंबे लंबे छक्के मारते हैं. These were the two things I knew about you. So that time I was sailing in Seafarers. Then suddenly I was looking for a job option. Then one of my friends suggested me, अरे यार तुम see you're looking for a job option, why don't you join Anglo Asian? मैंने बोला यार see it's a big huge shipping company. तो I don't know anybody over there. I was in Seafarers. It's a small shipping company. You know everybody is a family. So my friend told me you just have to know one person, and that is Maneesh Pradhan sir. He is like our college senior and a very very honest and a trustworthy man. So that was second input that I got about you. And then I thought कि मैं Anglo Asian join करता हूँ. So this was my second, that was when I joined Anglo Asian. It was because I had heard your name and that trust factor came in. Then I started sailing. Then we interacted for 2 to 3 times. And it was always a learning experience whenever I used to sit in those cubicles with you in those rooms. And learning was always an issue that कि चलो कुछ सीखूं, learn something. Then there was a time when from a second engineer I was getting promoted to become a chief engineer. So sir, I put that in LinkedIn post, but I want this to come out aloud. Today I am very much interested in maritime leadership. So इसीलिए सर का इंटरव्यू बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ट्रू लीडर की पहचान क्या होती है? So when I wanted to become a chief engineer, so I always thinking कि यार till the time of second engineer, my chief engineer is looking at my appraisals, he's seeing how good I am, and then that is how he's making my appraisals and continuing everything good thing. So I was confused. Now I'm becoming a chief engineer. How will people know my work? Because the superintendent is 7 seas ashore. He's far off. So then I came to you as a guide. So till that time I had never read books. So you told me, Praneet, अब मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगा, Praneet तुझे किसी को क्यों प्रूव करना है कि तू क्या अच्छा कर रहा है, तेरे अप्रेजल अच्छे हैं कि नहीं है? सर योर वर्ड्स एग्जैक्टली वर, तू अपने लोगों का ख्याल रख, वो मशीनरी का ख्याल रखेंगे, मशीनरी कंपनी का ख्याल रखेगी और कंपनी तेरा ख्याल रखेगी. एंड सर देन आई रेड अबाउट रिचर्ड ब्रांसन, जो कि वर्जिन एटलांटिक के बहुत, उन्होंने बोला है एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर टेक केयर ऑफ योर एम्प्लॉइज, योर एम्प्लॉइज विल टेक केयर ऑफ द कस्टमर्स एंड कस्टमर्स विल टेक केयर ऑफ योर बिजनेस. सो सर ये है मेरा फैन बॉय मोमेंट. सो दिस इज अ मार्क ऑफ अ ट्रू लीडर. कुछ भी हो, it is always about giving the right things, and now our interview starts. Thank you sir, thank you very much.
Thanks, Pradeep. I think I'm very humbled. You've just gone overboard with all the accolades and praises. I don't think I deserve all that, but happy to be with you, happy to talk to you.
Thank you sir, thank you very much. Sir, abhi there'll be small question on the session. So I want to know about your early life first.
Early life, okay. So I am basically born and brought up in the small town of Jamshedpur, which was in Bihar, which is now Jharkhand. And my dad used to work for Tata Steel, right from his college to his retirement. He's worked for Tata Steel for 42 years. So I grew up in this small town, studied in a Jesuit school over there. And we had a very simple living. We were a very middle class family. Dad was in service. So in those days, we had exposure and access to just about an average living. And I think what I'm really proud of is the values that my parents gave me, my dad and mom. They instilled the values of integrity, honesty, way back when I started understanding how to live. So, and then Jamshedpur was a very cosmopolitan setup. So, we really never got into caste and color and sex. It was a very kind of open society. People from every walk of life used to meet up in clubs and stuff like that. That's why it's never appealed to me, this kind of differentiation basis caste and religion has never come my way too much. So I'm proud to be, brought up in Jamshedpur. And of course, thanks to the Tatas who used to give their employees a great life, my exposure to, especially I would say, sports and games was immense. I mean, there was not a single sport that I could not play or learn how to play because it was so easily accessible to Tata employees. So all that, I think it's not just about your education. You need an all-round development to become a good personality to go ahead in life. And I can only thank Jamshedpur and the Tatas for it.
Okay, that's good, sir. So then, why did you choose merchant navy as a career?
Well, if I can be as honest, I never chose it.
So 99% of people are saying the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, I never chose it. It was by default. We had given, all of us aspired to give IITs and all. I had given IIT, but I didn't really qualify. And DMET, somebody had said, there is this shipping about DMET and Chanakya. In those days, it was Rajendra. Why don't we give it? Some of us just filled in the form and gave it, and we got selected. And I also got selected for the defense services. But when I had to choose between the two, and of course, I had the third option of a normal engineering degree. Between the three, and this was after consulting a few seniors, people said that this was the most exciting one. And then I just took the plunge, and after that, I've never looked back. I'm in fact very, very proud that I chose this. I'm very happy to be in this profession and no regrets.
So 1994, you joined Anglo-Asian, and it's 2022. It's been 28 years. And
Yeah.
like your father had been a Tata man for 42 years, you're just, I guess, 14 years short to match that same thing. So you're an Anglo man. So joined 1994 Anglo-Eastern. In 7 years, you were a chief engineer 2001. If I'm not mistaken. 2002. Then, sir, why a shore job?
Primarily driven by the family needs. That, I had a growing child. And being from a nuclear family, my wife needed me around to, influence the growing up of the child. But also that, I had done 3 contracts as chief engineer, and then, that you want to grow, you want to work differently in life. So a little bit of upgrading or whatever, I won't call it upgrade. I used to love my job at sea, but then doing something different and doing something maybe more important, that's what got me to move ashore. And then I think for every seafarer, I always say that's one innings, and then this is your second innings that you start ashore. Of course, I still don't think that there is any better job than working on a ship. If there was some form of teleportation and somebody told me that 8 o'clock in the morning, stand on the circle and you'll be teleported to a ship, and evening you can come back to your family, I'll still choose to do that.
Still choose to do that. Great, sir. This is a very well thing said. Sir, so you joined. So now another question is, you were a chief engineer. The best way possible could have been becoming a technical superintendent, then going to become, and this is a normal question I think a lot of people might be asking you as well.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to join this fleet personal thing where you are interacting with people over a technical thing?
Again, I didn't choose to join. So
Okay,
a lot
you
of things
didn't
have
choose to
happened
join.
in my life by default. And I think, I have a lot of trust in God. God has made sure that it happened well for me. So yes, I was aspiring to be a vessel manager. But then at that point of time, Anglo used to take more priority to experienced guys, and there was no vacancy. We were a much smaller company that time. And I was offered to kind of open an office in Calcutta, which was like a dream come true, staying in your own city, because I was based out of Calcutta in those days. Staying in your own city, you'll get to kind of run the office. So I was quick to accept, and it was very nice of Anglo Eastern to have offered it to me, and then that's how my shore job started in FPD.
Sir, I'll come back to the other question again, but now the important question is FPD. If those people who do not know, it is like, it's crewing. You hire people, then you send them on ship. A lot of problems can happen. You have to take care of those people. Like, I know there were a lot of times I used to call you, sir, especially my last contract, sir, I'm making a lot of video. I'm talking about my last contract, that it was a mess. it was a mess. And there also you had to come in between, you had to help me, guide me, nurture me during those tough phase of my life. So that is why I respect you so much, immense respect. So sir, all said and done, but what were the initial challenges that you faced when you started the Kolkata office?
Challenges, okay. See, there is a difference of when you're dealing with people and when you're dealing with machines.
Yes.
People, each one is different. Each one has a different requirement. And unless the negotiation can go through only when you're able to meet each other's expectations. It's a two-way thing. I think it's more like understanding the requirement first. And that's why in crewing, the one quality that I had to really develop intentionally was to listen and to perceive and understand things. It's only when you listen to the seafarer that you can understand what his problem is or what he requires. And then you can only decide what you can deliver. Of course, not everything is deliverable, but you have to try and deliver. If you have to win the trust of the seafarer and you have to convince him that, this is the right ship or the right time or the right company that you should work for, you should be able to give him something very substantial. So I think the key was listening and then addressing those issues one by one. And winning trust is only when you can deliver. You may just make a commitment, but unless you can deliver to the commitment, that is not going to go forward. It's a very tough mountain to climb to win trust, but then it's very easy to fall down. Because you just need to do one thing that you can lose trust, and that's lost forever. So I think it's been a real challenge, and that pressure, I let that pressure remain on me, that we have to have the trust of the seafarers. Because I'll be honest, even when I was sailing, the department that we would trust least would be the crewing department. We always thought that the crewing department was not doing enough, only my relief was getting delayed, only I was being neglected, only I was not being spoken to, or something like that. It's only when I came ashore that my first target was, whatever grievances I had as a seafarer, let me first get that out of the way. My first, amongst the smaller things was, if I would walk into the office, probably nobody would even offer me a cup of tea or coffee or a glass of water. I made sure that everybody coming to my Calcutta office would be welcomed, given something to eat or drink. And, those are small things when you feel welcomed into somebody's office or house. So we started from those small little things, and the idea was to build trust. If we said we'll get you back by so-and-so time or before Durga Puja, which was important to the people in Calcutta, we made sure we brought them back. And that journey started back there.
And so that is why within a short span of time, maybe a few years, Kolkata office was the largest crewing in the Eastern India part.
Eastern India, yes. We were by far the largest. We were way ahead of our competitors in Eastern India. And that's because people started believing in us. And that's what belief can do. It's like a movement. So just like you said, like when you were asking after your stint with CLN, where do you want to go? Somebody said, go to Anglo-Eastern. Only because maybe that person believed that, yes, this is a company that will deliver. And trust me, this is not just my ethos. This ethos comes from our bosses, from our chairman, from our CEO, that always do the right things. If you're committing something, get it done.
Okay. Sir, now the question that arises is, when you talked about delivering, was this the reason that you started growing in Kolkata, and that was the reason you were called all the way from Kolkata to Mumbai office over here to make a bigger impact?
No. There was a vacancy and I was called in. I think there was nothing great about me that I was called in for that. It was just, there was a vacancy. We had to start a new pool. Of course, I moved at a time when there was an emergency situation due to a hijacking. I initially moved into Mumbai to handle that, and then there was an opening coming up, and my boss then, he offered me to take it, and I took it. So there was no special criteria for that.
Sir, fleet personnel की जब हम बात करते हैं, handling crew, taking their grievances, sign on, sign off, commitment पे रहना है. This is one department जिसको सबसे ज़्यादा, अगर if I'm now speaking Hindi, सबसे ज़्यादा गाली सुनने को मिलती है.
Yeah.
When I was in different shipping companies, even he doesn't listen to me, वो तो सिर्फ they do blah 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 and nothing happens. So how were you able to deliver those things? Because sir, I have been in constant touch with you for the last 9 years, and wherever you have made promises to me, at least I know they haven't delivered. Then I have talked to a lot of people among my friend circle. They have always have, but I have even the deck side people. When you were there was a time when you were handling the on the engine side when I was a part. Even deck side people had a lot of respect for you. So now when I'm talking about respect, that trust factor, what are the strong work ethics that you believe in and what you feel that people should understand more about?
Speak the truth.
Speak the truth.
Yeah. So it's generally about getting on and off a ship, right? Most of the problems are related to that. If somebody is asking for relief, if you can relieve him, give him the word and get him off, no matter what. But before you commit, make sure it can be done. And if you can't, then say so. I think all people on ships, I've been a seafarer and I'm, at heart, I'm still a seafarer. If somebody tells me the truth about something that can't be done, I'll be the first one to understand, provided somebody explains it to me. And this is what I keep telling to my team that, go out and explain in as many words as to why we can or we can't do what you want. And seafarers being very simple people, the simplest set of people that I know in this world are seafarers. They live 6 months on a ship, 6 months at home at an average. Their needs are limited. They are not the most, though they have all the fancy amount of money, they don't go around tom-tomming themselves to the world. So it's a simple life. When you explain it simply to them, they will believe you. But then it can't be a negative every time. You have to bring in positives. So you have to weave it between the negative and the positive, and you have to take care of the seafarers' interests. So there has been an effort, and I thank my team to be with me. You see, whatever I did was not alone.
Always.
Somebody was there with me to make it happen. The magic happened with the team and the company and the resources given to us by Anglo Eastern. So all that played a part in this story so far. And believe me, Praneeth, I'm not even 50% there. Believe me that. We have so much more to do. We have a lot of plans, especially in terms of crew welfare. I think we have a long way to go. We want to build that brand where people just say, if there's, they shouldn't be able to think that I have a problem in Anglo Eastern.
And if there's one company that they should look up to, that should be Anglo. That is the vision. That is the.
We want to be definitely right up there.
Right.
I mean, I never talk about my competitors because I think everybody's doing a great job. I want to do a greater job. I mean, we as Anglo Eastern want to do really well.
So, sir, one thing that you tell your team all the time, like whenever there's a weekly meeting, a monthly meeting, one thing that you tell your team all the time.
Be honest and respect seafarers.
Respect seafarers.
Yeah. Everything comes only when you respect the person across the table. When you think that he's important for your survival. I mean, I give examples of, just yesterday I was talking about the Swiggy thing, that when you don't get a delivery on time, you actually sometimes call up and scream at the customer guy, welfare guy. But the customer welfare guy never screams back at you because he's in a service industry. I consider ourselves a service industry. Yes, even if there are times when we have to listen to something, we are supposed to just take it in our stride and correct it. So no matter what it is, for me, every seafarer, every rank, rating, officer, all are equal. We need to respect them. Because this office, in fact, the most precious assets of Anglo Eastern are our people.
So today you're handling thousands of seafarers. A large amount of, I can see people working here in the Anglo Eastern office as well. You have Ukraine office in Ukraine, Manila, everywhere. So one challenge that you face today in your job profile?
Is basically availability and commitment of people. And it's not always their fault. Sometimes people get challenged by the fact that somebody's not well at home. So the only thing I would like to see is once you commit, I'm joining on X date, please make yourself available. Because the entire planning goes upset, because it's almost like a jigsaw puzzle that we put together. You change one piece and it just kind of falls apart. So I want seafarers to be committed to the job. I feel very bad at times when I hear that, I want to come back home or I can't go on the ship on time because I'm attending to something at home, and my brother can't do it because he's got a job somewhere in the US and he can't come, but I need to go. So I sometimes feel that even seafarers value their job lesser than maybe somebody who's not in seafaring. Otherwise, why is his brother working in an IT company in the US not able to take leave, but you can actually abruptly give up your job and get home? Remember, it's also the lives of those 22 people. Because when somebody says, you take dispensation, get me off, you're actually going one man short. And if we could run ships with lesser people, we would. We wouldn't be paying that extra money. So we have to respect the fact that each man is important on a ship. And he should try his level best to deliver to his capability, to his rank, and to what he's assured to do. So the challenge is that commitment.
So I am doing leadership course, and they taught me recently, and that is even when I was doing Beyond Hogarth Sir's interview, authenticity. A leader means I say is equal to I do. Ek bar, whenever you have committed something, it has to be delivered.
Yeah.
No matter what, unless until it's something really urgent that is explainable. So like I respect you because there have been 2 to 3 times, sir, where you committed something, whether it was coming back from US. There was a time when last ship where I was in problem, but you explained, you took out time, sir, and trust me, sir, that was the worst nightmare of me, that you had to intervene in between, talk to me, calm me, and happening just recently on my last ship. It was an embarrassing point for me.
Not embarrassing. No.
But you did that, sir. So see, there are 2 streets. Anyways, there is office and this is us seafarers out here. If I say is equal to I do, when we say something and we commit to that, our job is done. When we do that, this is what we have to do it. Then we leave it up to the office thing. And I say, if we start this thing very well, this trend very well, I think this will happen from this side as well. And when it is a 2-way street, I say is equal to I do, then nobody can stop us from becoming the best industry in the world.
Completely agree. It's about commitment from both sides.
Both sides.
Just like we expect seafarers to commit, they expect us to commit about certain deliverables. And actually, our whole effort in the whole day in the office is only to make the I say is equal to I do.
I see.
So that's absolutely true.
So in the end, this interview was not about anything else but maritime leadership. This interview was about commitment, saying I say is equal to I do, whether it is for seafarers, whether it is for the office employees who are working round the clock out here to make sure that they complete their commitment. So guys, all I can say is, let us value our profession. Let us value our maritime industry. Let us be thankful to what we are getting, and let us do the best possible that we can do for it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I just want to, before we end, I want to say one thing is, it's a great profession. Everybody who enters from this side of the tunnel, whether he enters as a cadet or a junior engineer, there's a 90% probability he'll come out from the other side as a master or a chief engineer.
More than that, sir, I guess.
More than, I'm just being extremely conservative.
Yes, agreed.
I'm going by global statistics. Tell me if every person entering into any other industry tunnel can come out as the department head at the other end.
Not possible, sir. It's CEO. There is a pyramid.
Yeah.
We have got a vertical parallel rectangle being followed. Tick, tick, tick. But there's a pyramid out there. You really have to be good. And sir, over here, I want to add one more thing. Recently, I've been meeting a lot of people who are in the shore job. So now, when they were in the ship job, when they were working sailing, they were never ready to upgrade on their skill set. If company tells them to do a course, they'll go there reluctantly do the course. Okay, it is needed.
True.
But never to upgrade just because they felt it is the need of the hour. But when they came, the same people, when they came to the shore side, suddenly they started upgrading, reading books and all these things. But why can't we start doing that right now, right here at this moment?
I mean, I say that in a lot of my briefings that, it's all about, there are 3 C's required for success. One is competence, one is culture, and one is the cause. So what you're talking of is competence. You can only get more and more. See, competence is never it's an infinite process. You can never say I'm competent enough. So you can only get more and more competent by upskilling, reskilling, and there are ways to do it, including, as you said, courses and stuff like that. But just to get back to my previous point, everybody getting in here is coming out from there, earning decent, handsome salaries, tax-free. Which other industry can allow for this? We are a great industry. It's just that somehow we don't publicize ourselves in a positive manner. Even on social media groups of seafarers, you will only see talks about collision and grounding and negative aspects. There are so many ships doing rescue missions. There are so many ships doing good things, they overhaul an engine or they paint the decks. Nobody's posting pictures and news about that. Carrying millions of tons of cargo across the seas, working through the pandemic when all industries were shut. How much did you read about it? Nobody. Nobody takes pride in that. But a guy gets hit in his arm or a leg and there are pictures and there are criticisms, and I think I would like to see this industry as a desired one. Unfortunately, people from good families don't opt for shipping anymore. I would like to rekindle that fire that, here is a good profession. In 10 years, I'm definitely going to be earning so much. I'm telling you, no other industry can give you that assurance. And, we need to work towards the glory of being a seafarer again. Whether you're in uniform, I would like you to be as smartly dressed as an airline pilot. And we don't see it today. We need to, pride ourselves for what we do. And I think if we all collectively start thinking, it'll work. Nothing is impossible.
Sir, I just want to add one thing. Sir, grass is always greener on the other side.
Absolutely.
Today, I'm meeting people in different industries as well. So when they're in a particular industry, they say, oh, yeah, where are we stuck? This is not the profession. Your profession is damn good. What are you trying to do out here?
Absolutely. So,
sir, what happens is that today, us seafarers, I've seen a lot of people shifting from shipping line to the shore job. So today, and that includes me. Why should I talk about others? I'll talk about myself. So now it's been 1.5 years I've not been on ship. I thought I'll leave ship because I'll give time to my family. Unfortunately, rather I'm giving less time to them right now than I was able to give them when I was on ship.
Much less.
Much less. My work is round the clock on my physical fitness is taken for a toss. I don't have time for myself. I am in a chaos and a distracted state all the time. WhatsApp messages, everything. Polluted environment all the time.
And your health.
And that is what it is. Health has gone, sir. It is taken for. I had never taken pills in my life, sir. Today I'm taking antibiotic, paracetamol, Crocin Plus. I've never done that before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, sir, in the last 1.5 years, suddenly I started realizing, what was I missing? And now I want to go back on ship very soon, and I'm going to go back, sir. And this is where the real advantage lies. Today I've gotten, if I have not gone on ship for 1 year and I want to go back, this merchant field is taking me back again with open arms. Okay, fine. So if you want to make mistakes, this is the profession. It will always welcome you with open hands. And that is why I say this is one of the finest professions. Let us value it and make sure that we make this Indian maritime fraternity proud.
Absolutely. Right? Let's go for it and let's all join hands and make it.
It will happen, sir. Maritime leadership, मेरा forte अभी से मुझे यही करना है. मतलब my forte मतलब मेरा ये जुनून बन चुका है, passion. Sir, I have to do this.
And I wish you the best for it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And we're all with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pradhan.
Thanks.
Thanks.